doing, Spookala?
I'm having an awesome time. It's been really, really great. I think this is my very first horror convention.
Well, you know, the thing that was interesting, Steph and I were walking around this morning, making our rounds, talking to the different people that were going to be on panels, and you had like the third longest line on that side of the building to Walton Goggins and Anthony Starr at the beginning of the day, and we're like, man, people at this con love you, and that was just so, I'm so happy for you that was the case.
It is the coolest thing ever. Like, for voice actors, we work in soundproof rooms by ourselves, and you pour your heart into the mic and you hope someone hears it. So this is like a voice actor's applause. So thank you guys so much, seriously.
So you've done voices for things like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, even though you did do a voice in Sonic the Hedgehog, but most of what you do seems to be like the darker animes. Do you feel like is that something that you look for? Do you look for the kind of darker side of anime? Or you're like, dude, whatever you throw in front of me, I'm finding a voice and we're gonna make it happen?
Look, it's not up to the actor. Like, I don't select a character and go like, oh, I'm gonna do like this guy who screams, or this guy who screams, or this guy who screams. They just seem to come my way. But in one day, you know, I might go in and play a character like Aaron, and then in the afternoon, play a character like Sultan from Disney Princess Palace Pets, who's Jasmine's tiger. And in the game I work on, you can brush his hair and give him a bath. And we might do that in the same day. You just never know what you're going to do when you step in the booth. And that's part of what I love about being a voice actor. When you go in there, it's so freeing. And it's just very, very cool.
So, like you said, you go into a soundproof booth. Yeah,
you can say that again.
And I know that over COVID, a lot of voice acting became very segmented out, where it was, I'm literally going to build a soundproof closet in my house to be able to go do that. So you may not have ever even met anybody else that you're working with. Has that kind of changed and gotten back to normal, where you're actually able to work with in a real setting people that are actually on the same show, or is it still where it's segmented out?
It just depends on what you're working on. I think these days I'm about 50-50 from inside my home studio to inside a studio somewhere in the city. I'm from LA. The traffic is real bad. I was treated to some beautiful Tampa traffic right when I landed here. I'm like, I feel just like I'm at home. So you can't beat the commute working out of your house. During the pandemic, the fastest way to build a recording space is inside a closet. So I was in my closet screaming and crying and yelling for about a year.
And making your neighbors really, really happy, I would assume.
Oh, right? They love me. Yeah, now I'm in a full studio, so my neighbors won't call the cops on me, which is nice. So it really does depend on what show you're working on, if you're with the other actors or not. Because when you're recording on anime, you're dubbing. So you're watching the screen and you're talking as your characters are talking, and you try to make it not look like Godzilla. Like, you don't want like, hi. Like, you try to get it to match the lip flap. And it's very difficult to do that by yourself, let alone with a cast. So most of the time, you're not with your castmates. And in shows like Sword Art Online, I play Kirito, and in the first season, he's very much falling in love with Asuna. So I try to feel what my characters are feeling, so all of those lines to Asuna are like I'm talking to my wife. But I had never met Jeremy, my co-star, to that point, so our characters were falling in love, and we had never even talked, never met. In Attack on Titan, it wasn't until after season 1 that I really got to hang out with Trina Nishimura, who plays Mikasa. So we went through an entire season not even knowing each other. And it wasn't until we met across the world, we were at an event, we got to hang out on stage in front of the crowd, and we're both like, we hope we like each other. And now Trina is like Auntie Trina to my kids. Like, she is the absolute best. It's one of my favorite things that has come from Attack on Titan, just the people that I've grown to love and become so close to.
So we're going to open up the mic here in just a minute, but I have a few other things I want to cover with you quickly.
Yeah.
So you, sir, are an accomplished martial artist.
I am, yeah.
Why don't you let the people out here know how much you've accomplished in the martial arts world?
Yeah, I mean, that was my very first passion. My mom started me in a style called Tong Sudo, which is the style that Chuck Norris made famous when I was about 5, because I was kind of little. And I was one of those kids who'd be in the back of the class just trying to go Super Saiyan, just never worked. But I've always loved martial arts, and I competed in Muay Thai and boxing for years and years. And now I get to work on shows like Kengan Ashura, where I play Cosmo Imai, the king of stranglers. I'm very much a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and there's a bunch of guys at the gym that watch anime too, so they choke me out, and they're like, yes, I'm strangling the king of stranglers, so that's fun. Good times.
That actually sounds pretty appropriate for a horror convention.
Yeah, there we go.
So have you ever met Chuck Norris through this, or is it,
You know, funny that you ask. I've been lucky enough to be at a number of events where I'm signing right next to Chuck Norris, and gotta say, he lives up to the expectation. He is just such an incredible guy. When you're next to him, just in the space around him, you just feel this very cool aura. So whenever I'm at an event and I know Chuck is gonna be there, I just request, please put me next to Chuck. That's where I wanna be.
So are you more starstruck by him, or is he more starstruck by you? Does he even know who you are?
I think at this point, I've hung out with him and his family. He's probably like, oh yeah, Bryce, the really loud guy. But it's actually very cool. His daughter watches anime, and at the last event that we were all at together, I talked to her for 20 minutes about Attack on Titan and some other shows. And I just think to myself, what is this crazy world that I'm living in where I get to hang out with Chuck and his family? The coolest thing ever.
All right, so you are an esports legend. Wait, there is a legend about you in esports. Let's talk about how this legend came about. What is this legend? Why did it come about? And why is it completely untrue?
Actually, you must have looked at my Wikipedia.
I've looked at all of it. Come on now, I got to do research on the panels. Let's do this.
So this is great. I wish I could say it is true, but I believe my best friend growing up changed my Wikipedia because I used to talk so much trash to him as I dominate him in GoldenEye that he changed my Wikipedia saying that I was a semi-pro and all this stuff. Unfortunately, not true. But I love that it's come up so many times now. I've met people that are like, hey, do you want to play some GoldenEye? I'm like, what? It's on my Wikipedia, so I love it. I'm not changing it.
Yeah, which is great because you're like, you had no idea that it's there, and now you're like, why are people coming up to me asking me if I'm an esports legend? But that's because it's been the ultimate prank, and so that's probably better than if you really were.
It's the best. Yeah, I love it.
All right, so hey, we're gonna open up the mic. So if there's anybody that's got any questions for voice actor extraordinaire Bryce Papenbrook, let's coming up here to the mic, and let's see what you got. All right, coming up here. Oh man, look at that shirt. You are ripped. At least the shirt's ripped.
You lost your head!
What's your name?
I'm Xavier Hughes.
And make sure you speak up nice and loud into the mic. What's your question?
My first anime when I was getting into it was Attack on Titan.
Awesome.
And Aaron really inspired me to want to do voice acting. So I wanted to ask, what was your inspiration to start voice acting?
Yeah, so I was actually born into a family of actors. And when I was about 8, my dad was working on a show called Power Rangers. Have you guys seen Power Rangers? So my dad was Rito Revolto, the skeleton dude on Power Rangers, and a bunch of the monsters. And I used to love to go to work with him and watch him do his thing. And at the end of one of his sessions, they needed a kid's voice, and he was like, he's a kid, throw him in the booth. And that's how I got started. So I've really worked hard to carry on the torch for my pops. So he's my true inspiration.
That's awesome. I loved watching Power Rangers when I was little.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Have a great one.
All right, feel free to bend that mic down so he can hear you. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Emily.
And Emily, what's your question?
Well, I'm a really big fan of Miraculous. I have been since I was really young, and I wanted to know how you felt about the new animation of it.
Yeah, I mean, are there, who else is a Miraculous fan out there? awesome. Thank you guys. My goal with this show is to sneak as many cat puns into it as I can. I really think I deserve like a Guinness World Record for that last special where I'm fighting myself. The Shady Bug special. Yeah, it's just cat pun to cat pun to cat pun. Most cat puns in a TV special ever. No one's beaten me. So I haven't seen the animation finalized, but I will tell you this. I surprised my family and I took them to Paris last year, and I was able to get a little tour of the animation studio, and I saw the amount of work and time and effort that they were spending rebuilding the entire world. They had like photos from Paris, and they were redesigning all these little details from the architecture to like the way food is presented, like kind of photorealistic in this new style. So from what I've seen, it's beautiful, and I'm just excited for it.
And also, what's your favorite line in Miraculous?
What's your favorite line in Miraculous?
That's a tough one. It's gotta be a cat pun. I mean, do you want to help me out with your favorite? That was a cat pun.
I don't know. There's so many to choose from.
Right? There are some things that weren't in the script that I added. Usually those become my favorite. So Cat Noir has this pole that extends, and at the end of some of the scenes he like extends the pole and like launches himself. So I thought it would be funny when we record these moments, we play out an entire scene. We use this thing called a rhythmo band. So all of the lines are at the bottom of the screen. You've never seen them before, and you say the lines as they cross this other red line. It's like dubbing karaoke. So we play out the scene, and I always think it's funny to like sneak bloopers in at the end. So Cat Noir goes to launch himself, and I go, whee! As he like disappears. So someone must have heard one of those bloopers and thought, of course Cat Noir would do this, and taken the audio file and pulled it down to the keeper. And I saw it in the show, and I'm like, oh no. Well, now they write it in the script. So they just went with it. So I think that's my favorite. Just whee! And I'm gonna keep sneaking it in the show.
Well, nice to meet you.
Great to meet you too. Catch you later. That was another cat pun.
All right, next up, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name is Ash. I'm so sorry about my voice.
It's okay, but take the mic and bend it right up that way you can hear you good.
I just want to say that I've seen almost everything that you've been in, and truly you're an inspiration in anime and animation, so thank you so much for that.
Thank you for listening to me scream all these years. I appreciate
I love
that.
it, I truly do. My question is, what is your favorite character that you've gotten to act?
What is your favorite character ever that you've acted?
I get this a lot, actually. And it is so difficult to get cast in these shows. It's so competitive. Any day I get to step into the booth is a great day. And all of the characters that you get cast as, they become like a part of you, like your kids that live in your head. And a lot of my kids are crazy. So I don't want to make them mad, so I stay out of that argument.
All right, thank you so much. All right, hey, whoever's at the back of the line, you are the end of the line for right now. All right, so what's your name? What's your question?
Sorry. Hi, my name is Kaori. I just wanted to know, also I love you in Attack on Titan. Make me cry many times.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to know if Attack on Titan ever did, because there was a live action of it.
Yeah.
If the US ever wanted to recreate it, is there someone in mind that you want to play here?
Oh, like who would I cast if they recreated the Attack on Titan live action? I'm not sure who would make like the perfect Eren Yeager. All I know is I want a cameo in it. Like I just want to be walking in the background and have like a boulder just smash me. That would be my cameo. That's all I want. I would love that. Just like walk through, look straight at the camera, and then get smashed.
I love that. But also I just wanted to know, how do you feel about the ending of Attack on Titan as well?
So let's do this. Who's seen all of Attack on Titan all the way through the end? Awesome. I've seen everything now. Who is actively watching the show but hasn't watched to the end? Okay, awesome. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Who's never seen Attack on Titan? Sweet, quite a few of you guys. It's like a lighthearted comedy. So yeah, if you want like a little pick-me-up, then just start Attack on Titan. You'll just be like, oh, it's been a rough day. Bryce said start Titan. Episode 1. No! It's gonna be great. So without spoiling anything, I love the ending. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Isayama Sensei, I believe, truly wrote a masterpiece, and I don't know how he did it. I recorded the show for over a decade. I was part of Attack on Titan, and I never was spoiled. I didn't read the manga. I'm still planning to go back and read. I avoided the whole internet, and we don't get scripts ahead of time. So the first time I would say the lines is right there in the moment, and every twist and turn I did not guess. So I was caught off guard many times, and especially at the end. I had no idea what was coming, but I thought it was really, really perfect for the series.
Thank you so much. Also, my god sister says your character was way too complicated in Miraculous. She just wanted to say that. Also, I love you.
The love square is complicated, yes.
Thank you so much. All right, Nick, what's your name? What's your question? One question all the way down. You can put the mic out.
Oh my god. Okay. Hi, my name is Ivan.
Hi.
Come close to the mic, thank you.
Closer? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
So Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the ones that are on my watch list. I'm very much a completionist, and I'm kind of scared of some of these shows, especially ones that are supposed to be like that good. I feel like I would like it way too much. I am friends with a bunch of the folks in the cast, and back to martial arts, actually Adam MacArthur is a martial artist. I was messaging him when I was at the gym, and I sent him a picture of the heavy bag, just like, hey man, would love to get you in the gym sometime. He's like, when are you training next? I'm like, on Thursday. He's like, I'm there. So we came in and we hit Thai pads together, and it was just awesome. So yeah, Adam's a great guy. But I need to binge the show.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I'll be a yeah.
Nah, don't do it.
Thank you so much.
I heard it's really good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next up, coming up here to the mic. What's your name? What is your question?
Hi, my name is Gabby. I'm such a huge fan of Bryce. My question is that you've voiced so many amazing characters over the years that who would you choose out of the ones that you've voiced to have a boys' night out with?
To have a what with?
Boys' night out?
Yeah.
Who would you choose to have a boys' night out? I have never heard someone ask a question like that. That's a great question.
One. Yeah. I mean, I have some great choices. I wouldn't choose Eren Yeager. I wouldn't choose Inosuke. I think all of that would just not go well. If I wanted to just have like a video game night, like Kirito would be awesome to hang out with. And if I wanted to get a little more adventurous, I think Maso Mikita from Durarara. Has anyone seen Durarara? It is such a great series. It came out a little while ago. But Maso Mikita would be a lot of fun to just have him, show me around Ikebukuro. Like, I would love that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, next up, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Devin. Mr. Papenbrook.
Yeah.
So you were in the Pioneer dub for Akira, right?
For which show?
Akira? The movie Akira? Akira?
Probably not me. Possibly my dad. But I don't think I was in that one. But I have worked with Johnny Umbash a bunch. Oh, I've known him for a very long time. Actually, he plays this character called Vash the Stampede in a show called Trigun. Awesome. I actually play young Vash. So Vash, when he was a kid, there's these flashbacks, and that's me as a kid playing Vash. And now I've grown up, and in Blue Exorcist, I'm the older brother. So haha, Johnny.
Oh, because I could have sworn I heard Joshua said talk about you once, and I think it must have been someone else. I must have not confused.
It's very, very possible because it's not our faces, so that happens all the time.
I got
watching.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Have a great one.
All right, so we got 5 more questions from the audience. How are you doing? What's your name?
Doing great. My name's Corinne. I got to meet you over the autograph line. Thank
It's
you
great
again
chatting
so much
with
for
you.
that. Also, I love that someone else did martial arts growing up. I studied issue from elementary all the way through high school.
Awesome. Awesome.
My question for you is, a fellow actor, I work as a party princess or a character entertainer on the side. You kind of saw that as well.
I did. You do a great Minnie Mouse.
Well, thank you so much. Any tidbits that you can give to any fellow actors who want to also get into voice acting? Because that is still my dream, even though it's probably never going to happen. So, as well as
No, don't ever say that it's probably never going to happen. It's never too late to start doing something. It's never too late to pursue your dreams. Didn't want to interrupt you there, but don't ever have that self-defeating of that's never going to happen. Work hard and you never know what's going to happen for yourself.
Yeah, and in fact, there's not one way to get into voice acting. Every actor you ask will give you a different way that they got in themselves. I think the one common thread between all actors is tenacity, not taking no for an answer. And if you book 1 out of 100 auditions, when you're active and constantly auditioning, you're doing very well. So yeah, don't take no for an answer. Keep working, make steps every single day to grow as an actor, to move towards that goal. And I think of auditions as buying lotto tickets. Like, I give it everything I can right in the moment and then forget it ever happened. I've been incredibly fortunate in my career, but if you look at my outbox of all the auditions that I went for that I wasn't cast in, it's like a graveyard. I mean, thousands of roles over the years that I wasn't cast in, but all of that hard work for the one yes is worth it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, we got 4 left up here. How you doing?
How are you?
How you doing? What's your name?
Dill.
And Dill, what is your question?
This can be spoiler free too.
Awesome.
What is your favorite plot twist that you've acted?
What's your favorite plot twist?
In Miraculous? Or just in any of the...
Any of them.
Oh, wow. I mean, like, I'm Aaron in Attack on Titan. I don't even know if I can count how many plot twists there were throughout the series. I'll try not to spoil it for the people who haven't seen it. I always tell everyone, if they want to watch Attack on Titan, to give it 5 episodes. Because episode 5 is where I was absolutely hooked on the show. To describe the moment for everyone who's seen it, it's this one. And I was like, and they Game of Thrones me. Yeah, that's when I was hooked on the show and couldn't stop watching. I think that's one of my favorite twists.
All right, thank you so much. All right, coming up next, what's your name?
My name's Ember, and since we're here at Spookala, I was really curious. What would you say is your favorite horror game? Whether it's like psychological horror, survival horror, any type.
What's your favorite type of horror game? Your favorite horror game, no matter what the genre?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, can I choose something that I'm a part of?
For sure.
I mean, would you consider Danganronpa horror?
I think I would.
Because it was terrifying working on it. In this game, so I'll describe this to everyone who hasn't played it. There's all these super high school level students that are very talented in something. And they go into this school and they get trapped there by a mechanical bear who then tells them they must murder another student and get away with it to get out of the school. Sound right? Yeah, because anime. Good times. So I play a character named Nagi, who's almost like the detective that's trying to solve these murders that you play as you're playing the game. I didn't know, as the actor, who was going to die next. I didn't know what clues were important, so it was like I was trying to solve these murders with Nagi. It was like I was watching this movie unfold in my head. So, I mean, definitely one of my favorite games to work on.
I can definitely understand. I love this game too.
Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you.
much. All right, we got 2 more here from the audience. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, I'm Nicole. May I just say, you are the voice that got me hooked on Attack on Titan, the first anime I ever watched.
Awesome, awesome.
I preceded that with 7 Deadly
Good choice.
I heard your voice. It's like, he was amazing in Attack on Titan. I have to try it. And I've been hooked since. My question for you, with all your casting, everything you've done, what character did you enjoy voicing the most?
I mean, this is similar to like who's my favorite. And in all honesty, any day I get to step in the booth is a great day. And you never know what's going to happen when you go in the booth. I mean, there's been many times that I've been just guy A, that's in episode 1, and then he gets blown up, and then I'm unemployed. So, you know, any day I get to step in the booth is a great day.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for this entire community when it comes to anime. It is just, you voiced so many people's childhood.
Well, thank you for growing up listening to me scream. I really appreciate it. And I've been talking a lot, so that's not going to end.
Thank you so much. All right, the last and the single most important question in this entire panel is about to happen right now.
I'm ready.
Can you say your favorite Inosuke voice line?
Ooh, my favorite line. It's so hard to pick favorites. I won't need a mic for this one. This one becomes one of my favorites because of like the meaning behind it and the way I use it. Another actor in the show, his name is Zach. He plays this guy, Manjula, or whatever his name is. And anytime I see Zach, I scream this right at his face. I recommend that everyone here go and see Zach and do the same thing. It's God Pachiro Kamaboko! Woo! Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, good stuff, man. Thank you. So you know what? I don't know about you. I'm feeling a little bit hungry. How about you?
Yeah.
I feel like I need some Nom Noms, man.
We need some Nom Noms.
Some Nom Noms. I don't know. Do you guys need some Nom Noms? So, I don't know. I feel like Nom Noms are a part of this.
Everyone put your hands together for the Nom Nom team.
Hey, what's up, Nom Nom team? No, I'm so glad you guys were sitting right there.
Surprise, there's some microphones waiting for you.
That was unbelievable. That was a very fortuitous thing right there. So, you know what? I'm going to let you take it away. Who are these guys that just so happen to jump on the stage with us?
My name is Victor Larson. I am the creator of the world of Nom Nom.
Hey guys, my name's Johnny Dunn. I'm the co-creator of Nom Nom, the game designer.
And I play the character Ralph in Nom Nom. He has a chainsaw sword in this one. And then I learned today the sword gets much more aggressive as he's out there killing kaiju.
That's right. Yeah, Nom Nom takes place in a world called Nom Nom that exists kind of between all kinds of different dimensions and universes. So all sorts of creatures and characters are always arriving on Nom Nom through doorways. So you never really know what you're going to find there. But the game itself is based around the idea of a dungeon runner. So you're trying to get to the end of a dungeon faster than your opponent. Your opponent has a boss monster, as do you, and you guys have a bunch of nomsters roaming around your dungeon, as well as a party of champions. You're trying to race the other player and get to that boss first. It's really fun. We created the game to be totally different from any other card game. We're trying to bring card games and board games together a little bit, you know, Vic?
Yeah, integrating like a bunch of different hobbies all into one, easy to play and something that doesn't take months and months or, wraps up in a few seconds. It's really a way for you to game with your friends and, in a timely fashion,
Yeah, like if you guys have ever played tabletop RPGs and stuff, D&D, I'm a huge D&D fan. But those games aren't quick. They tend to go days, weeks, months, years, decades. And we tried to make Nom Nom to give you that kind of deep RPG role-playing experience, but in a quick 30-minute to an hour kind of game. So you can actually get more than one in a day,
What I really love about working with projects like this is the storytelling that goes into it and kind of creating characters inside those worlds. So Victor, could you tell us a little bit about the Nom Nom verse and the world that Ralph lives in?
Yeah, in Nom not so many words. I could literally be here for the next few hours telling you guys about Nom Nom, but
He seriously could. When we first met, we started talking about this concept and this idea, and we went really, really deep into it, and I just couldn't get enough. Like, that's why I was so excited to be a part of it. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So like Johnny said, it's Nom Nom is a world that exists between dimensions and universes, and there's all these doorways. So you have dinosaurs, you have kaiju, you have samurais, you have cowboys, and anything else in between. So creating a world where anything can happen. Me and Johnny have been developing stories for this world, and one of the very first stories we plan to tell is with Ralph. And hopefully it turns into a generational story that takes place over the next, hopefully, few decades. Maybe not as long as One Piece or anything like that, but you have this character, Ralph. He lives in Mount City, and he's aiming to be the greatest kaiju hunter of all time. And kaiju hunters in Nom Nom, the setting is called Mount City, and this city's constantly ravaged by kaiju and other creatures. And to be a rock star in this world, you become a kaiju hunter. And Ralph is this young, vengeful teenager that is becoming a kaiju hunter to pretty much avenge his parents. And without saying too much, I don't want to give it all away here, but me and Johnny have been working on this story for the last 2 years, and within another 2 years we hope to have our first comic out, and
I like that.
And hopefully much more. And it's just a matter of people's interest and support.
So tell us real quick where you are with the TCG and the cards. I mean, these things are beautiful if you haven't seen them.
So we ran a Kickstarter earlier this year in the spring, and we raised $250,000 on our Kickstarter, so it is currently in the works. The game releases later this year, but if any of you guys would like to know more, we have a table right next to Bryce. Come hang out with us. You can learn to play and ask us any questions you guys may have about the world of Nom Nom.
So hey, if someone is already a game player, you said the game is unique, you don't have to understand another game, but let's say they're already a game player. Is there a fandom that's out there that's going to be the most easily convertible over to being a Nom Nom player?
So that's a really good question. So me and Johnny come from a background in the TCG world, but we also grew up playing very similar games like RPGs and stuff like that, D&D, and we really just wanted to make a game that incorporated all these things. So our main goal is to kind of grab from all these different, groups of people and bring them together. It's like a combination of like a bunch of different hobbies,
And let's say that somebody is not a game player at all, and you were like, what can I say in the quickest phrase to capture, be like, you know what, I'm not a game player at all, but this sounds like something I want to go and invest my time and energy into. What would you say to that person to get them to consider becoming a Nom Nom?
I feel like our best chance would just be to start listing off the dinosaurs, the kaiju, the robots, the mechas, the samurai, the ninjas, the kaiju hunters, the artificers. The world is so rich, and it actually is very influenced by not only this fantasy element, but a very steampunk kind of element. And
I can roll with that.
So sci-fi that it feels like fantasy.
Oh yeah, you'd walk right into Nom Nom and fit right.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So that's the thing too, is that what you're saying is if you're somebody that's an experienced gamer or somebody that's entry level that's not, there is a place in the Nom Nom verse for you.
Absolutely.
And that's the great thing. And I love the fact that you guys are set up right beside Bryce. And I love the fact that he gave up part of his panel time just to help promote you guys, because that's how much he believes in the game. And I'm not putting any words in your mouth by saying that, right?
Not at all. What I love is when someone has, they're very passionate about something, and they take all of the steps to go for it and make it a thing. So to watch, like, this concept, you were just kind of describing this thing that was in your head that had to come out, and to watch it come all the way to this point and now have, the physical manifestation of that idea. It is so cool to watch and so cool to be a part of.
I'm happy to have you, Bryce. This still blows my mind to this day.
Absolutely.
All right, so is there anything any one of the three you guys want to say before we wrap this up? Because real quick, before you do that, we all got to do what we know we got to do. So at the count of three, let's summon the show photographer, Corey. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Summoning the show photographer to get him up here. So, you got anything last words you want to say about your career? Anything you got coming up? Anything you want to say about Nom Nom before we take the picture for the website?
Sure. Just thank you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out at the panel. Thank you for coming by and chatting with me. We're gonna go right back over to the table. Be hanging out there all day. I'll be yelling at people, and people will be learning how to play Nom Nom. So please come by, check out the cards, meet these guys, and have a great time, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. So we're gonna be coming around the other side of the table to take the picture, and don't forget about the insane panels we got coming up: Tucker and Dale versus Evil Reunion, Goonies, Scream. It's gonna be insane. So all four of us are gonna get around and take this picture. All right.
Thank you so much, guys.